Hey everybody, we're here at Wizard Tricks. My name's Bert. This is going to be our first video in a series showing you guys the techniques that we use to develop our flat wick knots. So the starting point with Wizard Tricks for all this knot work goes back 2015, and Dylan Royale was working for David Barron. They were building staffs together. They started doing sennit knots that, instead of stacking them on top of each other to make a cathedral style, started stitching them up and down in a manner that make a much more spherical situation. So I joined the team in about 2016, and we started diving deeper into all the knot exploration. And now together as a team, we've probably got about over 15 years of knot tying experience. So our intent with this video is to provide everybody with the foundation and the skills so that you guys can go out and explore this style for yourselves and, really start creating some cool stuff. It's not as hard as it looks, and so don't hesitate to give it a shot. Exploring this style of knot has brought us a lot of joy, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. So we're really looking forward to sharing this with you guys, and I'm kind of excited to see what everybody figures out and makes for themselves. So for this first video, we're going to demonstrate how we get from this knot, something that everybody's probably familiar with, and how we turn it into this knot. And then from there, we're going to teach you how to turn it all into this. Okie dokie. Alright, so before we jump straight into some more complicated stuff, we're going to run through just a basic sennit knot. We're going to be using 4 strands, and this is going to be a one-step sennit knot with 4 working ends. We'll talk more about that in a second. So a lot of people know this as like a cathedral stitch. Okay. Call this a one-step because each strand jumps over the previous strand and then under the next strand. We can turn it into a 2-step sennit where each strand is going to go over 2. So take, for example, this guy here. Instead of just going over 1, it's going to travel over 2. And I'm going to go around and do that with all the other strands here. So on and so forth, etc. So by adding 1 strand, we add 2 more working ends. So it's 3 strands and 6 working ends. So if we were to do a one-step with these 6, you can see that's our one-step with 6. We're going to do a 2-step where each strap travels over 2. We've got our 3 original straps, and we've made a nice little star situation here with the 2-step sennit knot. Got just staff core. This is a really small sushi roll on a piece of aluminum. Sushi roll is going to act as our little core that we're going to start stitching around. Putting her down there. First we'll just go ahead and do a 2-step. Okay, now we're going to repeat the same 2-step, but this time just going back up top of the wick. 2-step, I'm going with the same rotation. You can see these strands are all pointed this direction when they come out. On the bottom side, where the pole was in the way, go around and slowly tighten this. I like to put my thumb in the middle while I do this because it kind of helps me stay centered. So we just did the top, so that means we're going to do the bottom next. Do another 2-step. gonna put some muscle in it. Okay. Okie dokie. Another two-step. You see, every time we do a stitch, the whole situation gets a little bigger. We just did a stitch around the bottom. Now we're gonna go and do a stitch on the top. Another two-step on the top. We're gonna close this one up. And for this particular knot that we're doing, I'm going to close this center hole up, like completely pretty much. You know, if you're designing some knot and you want to have it open on the top, you totally can. It's not what we're doing in this situation. You just did a stitch around the top, now we're going around the bottom. Gonna do another two-step, of course, because that's what we're doing with this knot. Two steps. You can continue the pattern of tucking going over and under, so gets another tuck. So you can see that what this does is it makes a really nice kind of plating situation on the outside, and we call that doubling up a stitch. I'll go ahead and tighten it. So going around in a circle, this is where it starts. Tighten up the first two-step, and then go ahead and tighten up where it does an extra tuck. Does that, yeah. I'll go ahead and tighten it. You can see first I'm going to go back and grab back at the original two-step and tighten that. Step and tighten that, and then I'll, starting at the beginning, work my way to the very end of the strap. Okay. So we got a ball knot. Looks pretty nice. It's a good size. It's bigger than my fist, pretty much. And it's all made with two-step sennits, and the final outside layer is a two-step sennet doubled up. Makes pretty plating. You can just imagine what it would look like without these strands here.